Hey guys, this is a tutorial on our MESO calculator. It's the Multiple Equivalent Simultaneous Offer system that we have. The components of it consist of a calculator that you see here. Then there's payment options. We have a mail calculator, the amortization schedule, and the repair estimator. The location deal that you see here allows you to pick any city that we have here, and there are 317 cities we have in here for you now, where we have the average price of a house in that area, and we use that to give you an index on about what the repairs would be for your area. Let's start with the MESO. When we're first looking at a deal, we would look and see about what the average price of the house is. There's a number of ways you can do this. You can talk to realtors in your area, or you may be familiar with the prices of houses in your area now, or there are a number of websites you can go and get a general estimate on about what the price of the house is. At first though, it's best to just ask the seller of the house what they think the price of the house is. These numbers are relative now, because once you get a deal with someone and you know that it's a possible deal, at that point you'll do further investigation, and whatever price you come up with or whatever deal you come up with is still negotiable, because if the numbers aren't matching what the seller first told you, then the price comes down. And if you find out that the seller was off in your favor, well, that's just a better deal. So for instance, if the ARV, or the sales price on the house, the after repair value, is for instance $200,000, we'll enter that here, and we'll say that the seller has told us that there are approximately $8,000 worth of repairs that are needed. Our other expenses that we always use are, for instance, we have to wholesale the deal. We always put a few dollars in for that. Generally wholesaling $6,000. General number for computing the MESO, which is our maximum allowable offer, is around 70%. On the site we'll have that broken down as to why it's 70%, but that's the average that's used. It can be higher. For instance, if we're looking at buying houses and wholesaling them to people who are just looking at buying the house so they can put it in their inventory for rental houses. For instance, if someone is working as an engineer and they buy a house every 6 months or so, basically to put it in their portfolio so that they can have it for retirement, they're working toward leaving that job, then they may be looking at 80 or 85%. So it varies. For instance, so if the house is in a war zone, that number can go down from 70% possibly to 65, 60, or even 50%. So that varies, but we'll use 70% here. At this point, to input these figures, we would have to press update or enter on the keyboard. We'll just click update here, and you see that the value we get now is $126,000. This is our maximum allowable offer. So when we make the offer may be at, the cash offer might be at around $115. So we have a little room to work with still. If we have looked at the house and want to get an estimate of the repairs, we can take this number out. Once this is blank, then the numbers from the repair estimator will appear here, and they are used. Let's go to the repair estimator and see what an estimate of the repairs will be on this particular house. First, where's the house located? We'll click location here, and for instance, if the house is located in Atlanta, Georgia, we'll scroll down to the GA and see here that Atlanta, Georgia is 82. We just come up, plug in 82 in here, and we get back the result that we put in the wrong number. We put in 822, so it came back and said that that was a little too high. Let's change that to 82. We'll hit enter again. We come back and see that we chose Atlanta, Georgia, and this is the average house price here. And we see that the factor used is 1.08. So from here, let's go to the repairs. We'll see that Atlanta, Georgia was chosen, and the index and house value are here. Say for instance, this house had a heated square feet of 1,200 square feet, and that the unheated portion was 1,500 square feet. We can come down here and click any of these that apply, but we'll say that this particular house was in really bad shape and everything needed to be repaired. So let's see how that looks. We'll click this and we'll hit enter, so that will take. And we see that now, in order to exclude any of these items, we would check the box. We see here that if 100% of the repairs are needed on the floor, the interior and exterior painting, roof, kitchen, bathrooms, all of the windows need to be replaced, the HVAC system needs to be replaced, new hot water heater, new electrical system, new garage doors. If we have to come in and put in about 400 square feet of concrete, 400 square feet of asphalt, the outside structure is shot and needs repairing, if we need landscaping, if the removal and demolition costs are involved. This portion here is the miscellaneous. The miscellaneous is basically everything else. On average, it's about 20%. If you're really efficient, for instance, you might even be able to get that down to 15%. Or if you're a novice at this, you may want to put in 25% just in case. Our subtotal here is 28.6. At this point, we have the general contractor add-on. We always put in the general contractor add-on because even if we perform the general contracting work ourselves, we still have to get paid for it. So that's added in. So we figure the estimated repairs on this house would be about $32,884, and the program rounds it off to the next largest $1,000.